of you ever wondered if gangsters would make good babysitters? No? Oh, you're weird. Well, plot twist, they kind of do, actually, and I'm about to show you. Meet Yakuza Sakuragi, the daughter of a major Tokyo mob boss, head of the Sakuragi family. When Yakuza moves in with her father for the first time, he's a little too busy beating up thugs and money laundering to be a dad. But instead of hiring an actual babysitter, the Sakuragi leader gives his second-in-command the responsibility of looking after his precious little girl. And who is his second-in-command, you ask? None other than the infamous Kirishima Toru, also known as the Demon of Sakuragi. Yeah, sure, this guy totally seems like he'd be great with kids. Kirishima seems reluctant, but he doesn't have any choice but to accept, so he gets to work brushing Yakuza's hair and immediately ruining it. What a shock! Yakuza members aren't exactly father material. Under her father's instructions, Kirishima takes Yakuza to school and is told if anything goes wrong, he'll be killed immediately. While they're walking, some of the rival gang members turn up, hoping to ambush Kirishima while he's busy with his boss's daughter. But Kirishima is hardly concerned. He suggests the two of them play a little game, and in the time it takes Yakuza to say red light, green light, he's beat up the other guys and hung them over a wall. Baller! Later, Yakuza's Aunt Kanami says she seems a little more down than usual. Kirishima goes into her room to investigate and finds a notice for a parent-kid day at her school that afternoon. Yakuza seems sad because none of her family can go along with her. So to cheer her up, Kirishima decides to go instead. What a sweetie. Seems like the little kid is bringing out the best in this hardened criminal who eats eyes for breakfast. That evening, Yakuza thanks Kirishima for coming to school with her. Clearly, it meant a lot to have someone standing in as a parent, and by the next day, the two of them seem a lot more comfortable around each other. After dropping Yakuza off at school for the day, Kirishima is called in to talk to the boss with his partner Sugihara. Their boss tells them that a group of thugs is parading around, using their names and pretending to be a part of the Sakuragi clan. Fracking outraged, the two gangsters immediately go to investigate, talking to locals who have seen the copycats. Apparently, the fakes have been causing all kinds of trouble, harassing young women and giving the real pair of them a bad name. When they finally catch the guys pretending to be them, Kirishima and Sugihara make them look like frickin' total idiots and decide to let them off easy for once. Meanwhile at school, Yakuza has been watching the other kids bringing in things they made with their parents, and she opens up to Kirishima about missing her mother. When he asks his boss about her, Kirishima learns that Yakuza's mother is in a coma because of a car accident. Her father used to take Yakuza to see her, but it made her so sad to see her in a hospital that he eventually stopped. Yikes, this is heavy stuff for a, what is she, 6, 7? Now that he knows the truth, Kirishima goes to confront Yakuza and convinces her to come and see her mother again, saying she's fighting hard to stick around and would want her daughter to come and support her. Totally convinced, Yakuza goes straight to her big scary dad, saying she wants to go and see her mother as soon as possible. Later on, when they're having a tender moment, Yakuza asks Kirishima why he's so nice, and he's kind of surprised. He tells that other people just call him a devil, and Yakuza says she doesn't believe him, and that she wants to be just like him when she grows up. Except she probably wouldn't be saying that if she knew about the hundreds of guys he beats to a pulp every single day, or that her dad pays him to do it. See, this is why you don't give the Yakuza a kid! In the next episode, they go and visit Yakuza's mother alongside her father and her aunt. She says to keep on fighting to stay alive, and even drew her a picture which has Kirishima and Sugihara on it. Which is kind of adorable. At the hospital, they run into an old friend, Toichiro Aoi, another gangster turned father, because apparently that's just a thing. Toichiro's son comes up and introduces himself to Yakuza and immediately asks her out on a date. Yeah, Yakuza turns him down. Life is full of rejection, little guy. Better get used to it early. I know I did. Toichiro used to be very close friends with the boss, but left the clan a while ago, leaving his position as second in command to Kirishima once he was gone. On the way home, Kirishima and Yakuza buy donuts and find a cat and a pink-haired girl who's just lurking in the alleyway like a total creep. The girl explains that she ran away from home and used the last of her money to buy food for the cat, so she's clearly not that bright. Obviously, like any little girl, Yakuza begs Kirishima to keep the cat. Once the pink-haired girl realizes they're from a mob family, she asks to take a picture, because that's a totally normal thing to do, obviously. I mean, mobsters are like the equivalent of walking around mascots in football games. They're bust it down. The kitten, who Yakuza names Ohagi, immediately runs up to the most dangerous person in the building and starts rubbing up against its feet. In the next episode, the boss reveals that their financial situation is pretty bad, so he's appointing Kirishima and Sugihara to solve it. And how does he want them to earn money? by becoming YouTubers. Hey, you guys should start your own recap channel. At least they'll have enough money for an office.
What was that?
Nothing, Boss Cap. Just go back to doing whatever the frick you're doing in your own little corner in this cave.
Alright, then I will.
But to make things even harder, he also wants them to go viral secretly so that their rival gangs don't find out they're making videos and so the police can't track them. I don't think this guy really understands what going viral means. Anyway, the two gangsters decide to record while wearing masks to keep their identities a secret. They make a video showing the morning routine of a gang member, recommending gadgets, and even holding them up to the camera like beauty influencers. What in the Gen Z? Somehow the video does go viral, and Sugihara, the YouTube professional, has already decided what their next one will be. They even have clickbait video titles and a ring light, and at this point it seems like they're well on their way to becoming influencers. And look, they didn't even have to show a girl getting gangbanged in the thumbnail to get views. What do you know?
Was that a jab at me? I feel like that was a jab at me.
The only problem is that Kirishima and Sugihara's channel gets popular enough that people start to try and figure out who they actually are. So to protect the gang from investigation, Sugihara makes a post saying that they're going to take a break from the account and that they were making it all up anyway. But it backfires and they get even more popular. So popular that they're seriously worrying that their videos will be found by the police or even worse by Yaika and her classmates. They're about to close it down when their boss stops them and encourages them to start singing online to get more famous. Frackin' babysitting, YouTubing, singing, what can't the Yakuza do? Then their boss takes it way too far, hiring a studio, costumes, and choreography for their first single. The three gang members find it totally humiliating. This is not what they signed up for. So they decide to finally go against their boss's orders and pull the plug. For real this time. That's when Kirishima suddenly wakes up. Yep, it was all a dream. Talk about a filler episode. Back in reality, Kirishima has become a bit of a laughingstock amongst the gangs for his new job babysitting. Yanagi from the Kusagami family even says that the little girl has turned him soft. Obviously, Kirishima won't take that disrespect and puts him back in his place, but it looks like Yanagi isn't quite done with him yet. Later on, Kirishima bumps into an old friend from school, the fearless, gender-bending Rei Hojo. The two of them have a cute catch-up where Rei says it really seems like he's calmed down now that he's looking after a kid. But their tender moment is interrupted by that jerk Yanagi again, who's causing a ruckus in the cafe that they're at. Kirishima forces him to leave and pisses him off so much that Yanagi starts to think about how to get him back. As revenge, he ends up going to one of the restaurants owned by the Sakuragi clan, where Yanagi and his pal harass the owner to bring them food and drinks for free. But all that mischief sets Kirishima's spider senses tingling, so on a whim, they turn up to the restaurant just in time to hear Yanagi and his friend talking a load of smack about him. Kirishima busts in suddenly and nearly stabs Yanagi with a fork? He then goes full Yakuza on his gluteus maximus, beating him about and forcing him to drink before Sugihara buries them up to their heads, which I have to admit is kind of hilarious. In the next episode, Kirishima fills in for Yaika's dad again at a parent meeting while the other moms totally drool over him. If only they knew he was literally in the Yakuza. But the horny moms are good for something because they remind him that Yaika's birthday is coming up, which gets him thinking about how to celebrate. On the way home from school, they bump into Rei again, who was surprised to see Kirishima being so smiley and friendly with a little girl. He thanks Yaika for softening him up and asks her to keep taking care of him. Randomly, their conversation turns to this guy, Masaya, who was at middle school with Rei and Kirishima. Rei remembers that Masaya would always pick a fight with Kirishima for any reason he could find and wonders what he's up to now. Do you guys want to guess what he's been up to? He's been in prison! But he's getting out, and the first thing he says he wants to do is kill Kirishima. Ooh. Totally unaware of the enemy lurking around the corner, the Sakuragi clan are planning for Yaika's birthday, setting up a small celebration with just the mob and the family since she can't exactly have friends from school around a mob base. As a present, Kirishima decides to cook something up for Yaika, and it goes disastrously. Turns out Yakuza members might be good influencers and babysitters, but they don't make for the best cooks, because Kirishima nearly cuts his finger off just trying to chop up some veggies. When Yaika's birthday finally comes around, she invites a new friend over for the party, and this one can actually come because they're neighbors. The little girl's dad comes too, which is also apparently fine because this dopey family seems to be foreigners who have absolutely no clue about the Sakuragi family reputation. The whole clan gathers together for the party, where Yaika gets presents and a cake and even the meal Kirishima made for her, which she loves. But while they're getting all lovey-dovey back at home, the newly released Masaya lurks in the background waiting to strike. Will Kirishima take him down, or has Yakuza softened him up so much that he might not be able to protect her? Find all this out and more on the... I said I would stop doing that. That's where we're gonna leave it off today, Cappers. Man, this script is actually really wholesome. Troll, did you write this? Wait, where'd he go?
He left the cave a few hours ago. I don't know where he's been.
Okay, who wrote this script?
Beats me. I just work here.
Okay, well, I'm not complaining. If y'all enjoyed this recap, be sure to let me know down in the comment section and let me know if you loved it as well, because this is a great change of pace. And if y'all enjoyed, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons, because that'll mean a lot to us trying to rebuild our fracking empire, as Boss Cat puts it.
Baby, you know it.
Check us out on the other channels if you want to see more, and this one, because we have things on this one as well. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!